broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host, Mike Corday, in studio today is the award-winning author and is a human behavior expert. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. One of these days, we hope Blue Sky will get that streaming service so we can be on there also. We encourage you, though, to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We are all friends with different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today we got Geektastic show lined up for you today. We have a new White House AI and crypto czar. What does that mean for tech and regulation? Then Gwen Way joins us for something retro and perfect for that holiday. And it's a blast from the past, or is it a modern twist? Stay tuned to find out. And in shocking turns of events, a vodka maker has filed for bankruptcy in the U.S. after a ransomware attack. And have you ever heard of an Earworm Eraser? Curious about how it can stop those catchy tunes that just won't quit in your head? We got the scoop on this also. And OpenAI is charging $200 a month for an exclusive version of its reasoning model. But the most pressing news that we're going to talk about is Intel's CEO is out. What's next for this tech giant? In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan nugget, and of course, our pick of the day whiskey tastings to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. But now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger announces his immediate retirement, marking the end of a challenging era for him. Let's go to Corinne Westland for more on this story.
Pat Gelsinger exits Intel. Intel's announcement that the CEO retired effective immediately marks a pivotal moment in the semiconductor giant's history. The decision was surprising, yet inevitable, signaling the end of an era that began with Gelsinger's return to the company in 2021. As the company struggles with a challenging market and internal pressures, the question arises, can Intel reclaim its edge in a fiercely competitive industry? Or has it lost the paranoia that once made it an unstoppable force? Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, let's talk about this, Mike. So Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger announced that he's immediately retiring, marking the end of course his era for him. It's kind of challenging. It's interesting because the real successful CEO, Andy Grove, famously declared only the paranoid survive under his leadership at Intel, a mantra that became the company's guiding principle. Under Grove's, paranoia wasn't about fear, but it was about the consent to vigilantly be the number one innovator in the microprocessing units. Now, this mindset propelled Intel from a struggling memory chip maker back in the day to the leader of microprocessors. Pat's resignation that happened just this week, following his leadership roles at both EMC and VMware, said that it came as an edge and strategic clarity was not able to be met. A seasoned technologist with deep roots in Intel took the daunting task of rejuvenating the company's fortune to a failure. Now, Intel's stock has plummeted over 50% this year, and the company suffered a record $17 billion loss last quarter, laying over 15% of its workforce off. This manufacturer's delays misstep AIs far behind the competitors of NVIDIA, which has seized the leadership in AI chips. Intel was removed from the Dow Jones Industrial Average a year after the company, once the pinnacle of technology innovation, disappeared. Well, Gelsinger inherited significant challenges and an inability to execute at the pace required in today's rapidly changing tech landscape, leading to the ousting. Intel, once the apex predator of the semiconductor world, is now scrambling to regain its footing. All right, so what do we think there about Intel?
Well, you pretty much said it. You've used words like apex predator and these huge things. Everything has a life cycle.
Okay.
So
does this kind of be like the Blockbuster? They're kind of at their end.
Yeah, this is the same thing as the Betamax and the VHS.
But they're the chip manufacturer. Intel inside. I mean, everybody has an Intel chip.
Brand recognition doesn't solve everything.
So what really happened is the AI decided that they were going to do GPU graphics. That's what happened. Graphic display chips to do all of their AI stuff. And so now Intel's just kind of holding the bag saying, geez, please use us for AI.
The industry turned. Intel didn't figure it out fast enough, and now they're suffering the consequences.
Okay.
And while I don't know Gelsinger. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy or whatever, but he's obviously, not with Intel anymore, and they're gonna do what they're gonna try and do to get their stockholders money.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've talked about this a couple months back where we didn't know if Intel is going to be in a great shape. The government's come on in and suggested that AMD purchases them. So we're just going to have to see what's going to happen over the long haul.
AMD will purchase them after they've lost more stock value.
That's right. Okay. That's right. All right. I think you have story number 2. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about earworms.
I do not know what an earworm is. What is an earworm?
Well, an earworm is a small snippet of a song that gets stuck in your head and repeats over and over and over.
Okay.
So, the science says that about 90% of people suffer from earworms.
Okay.
And there's a couple of things that may make it worse or better depending on your particular personality and things going on. But have you ever had a song get stuck in your head?
Yeah, I hate that Christmas song that's going on with Mariah Carey right now.
Apparently, a lot of people hate that.
Really?
Because
all I want for Christmas is you.
Yeah, not because she's a bad singer, but because it's prime for earworm material.
Okay.
So people start getting irritated.
All right. So tell me about this technology for earworms.
Well, so everybody has this problem. Well, 90% of us have this problem. And for a certain percentage of that 90%, it's very irritating. But don't worry. If you were having problem with Mariah Carey getting stuck in your head, help is here.
Okay. What's the help?
The help is called the Earworm Eraser. And it's a 40-second audio track on YouTube that you can
hang on here. So if I get stuck with a song in my head, you're telling me YouTube is here to help me out.
YouTube is here to help you. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Maybe Intel. I don't know.
Okay. Well, not Intel.
Yeah. Some scientists have come together, or supposedly scientists have come together and created a 40-second audio track that is designed specifically to squash those earworms, those annoying earworms.
Okay.
And what it is 40 seconds of discordant, disjointed music pieces.
Okay.
That play and disrupt your brain so that it starts working again. So essentially
so it reprograms your brain a little bit by disrupting it, or is that
so an earworm is this piece of neurocognitive stuff.
Okay.
We'll just call it stuff.
All right.
And what happens is because of the pitch and because of the tempo and whatever, several pieces of your brain tend to latch onto it, and it's possibly because music is genetically encoded in us.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so our brains get stuck on this piece of music, and that's what the earworm is. In fact, earworm is actually from a German word that means musical itch.
Okay.
And then what happens is the Earworm Eraser is a bunch of this disjointed music, and it's designed so that it scratches out the itch.
Okay.
So it basically disrupts these brain functions that are stuck and gives it like a little bit of a reset.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's an interesting thing if you
So do I just go and
you just go and put Earworm Eraser and you can
have you watched the video a bit?
Yeah,
It's a weird video too.
Well,
right?
the video is just there.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't function as part of it, but
It's got like a worm, he gets smashed and shot across space and a bunch of different stuff. So it's not really about the actual video.
Sound.
It's the sounds.
It's the bunch of discordant and disjointed music bits all squashed together that helps restart your brain. Okay. And the Earworm Eraser has gotten more than 100,000 hits on YouTube since it launched last year.
All right.
It isn't foolproof.
Okay.
Nothing is.
So it's not like it's gonna 100% guarantee to work, but it's gonna most likely work.
No, but it makes sense if you understand a little bit about cognitive or neuroscience and
how your brain maps the stuff.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So Philadelphia-based tech worker Laura Ettlinger said that the Earworm Eraser rescued her after she visited her 1-year-old niece in Phoenix.
Okay.
Apparently she's the light of her life, but she listens to really annoying kid songs.
Okay.
There's
a couple kid songs that
there's a couple of kid songs that this one particularly was about Baby Shark. I don't know if you've
heard the Baby Shark. Yeah, I've heard that. Is annoying too. Okay.
Ettlinger said she took the Earworm Eraser to Best Baby Shark, and it just drowned it out and let her be calm and relaxed. And that's how. I mean,
would Taylor Swift songs count for this too?
The what?
The Taylor Swift songs. You ever listen to Taylor Swift?
I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
That's pretty repetitive.
I am not. I was never going to be accused of being a Swiftie.
Okay. All right.
But there we go. So if you have annoying Mariah Carey music in your brain this holiday season, go ahead and get on there and try out the Earworm Eraser.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to story number 2. OpenAI is charging now $200 a month.
Just did story number 2, buddy.
Or sorry, story number 3. Story number 3. OpenAI is charging $200 a month for an exclusive version of its O1 reasoning model. Now, OpenAI has created a new, more expensive tier.
$200 a month?
Yes. Well, they're making $20 a month right now for their current fee, right? Because I have ChatGPT's, OpenAI's standard user client. It's $20. But now, what this does is it gives you the ability to have their reasoning model, which will actually come on back and have kind of like that conversation and are you really thinking about this when you said this model that's available? Right now, it's been in beta, but it is soon ready to release. After you pay $200 to make it out of beta, then it will become an enterprise or an EDU user's experience starting next week.
All right, who is going to pay? First off, who's going to pay $200 to have a reasoning model on top of a large language?
Well, I you know what? I will bet you that probably 30% of their subscribers upgrade to this $200 monthly subscription, because it includes unlimited access to GPT-4o, an advanced voice model. So you already get the current version, but it also includes their more computing power, the best possible answer, more up-to-date information from the internet. So this is their live language models that they are using instead of their language models that they have that have collected data. This is the live one. The company continues to offer the Plus tier for $20 a month, which is what I have, that includes early access to new features, but this is more powerful with the up-to-date information. So instead of having like 6-month-old data, now I can get real. And this is what I'll say. The best AI bot out there is Bing. Forget all these right now, because Bing and Microsoft have their own, language model advancement on top of ChatGPT. So it's got OpenAI, ChatGPT, and then their own information that they have there. Just go to Bing. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. You can ask it any question as long as you have a Microsoft account.
Well,
and then just use it for that.
Yeah, we all know how I feel about these things, but why would first off, why would I pay $200 for more recent upgrades, and what kind of damage can I do with this stuff?
What type of damage can you do with? Well, like, meaning what?
Yeah, if I'm let's say that I'm some sort of deep fake company.
Okay,
I make deep fakes. Is this going to help me make better deep fakes?
Well, no, but let's say you're an AI company that's using this model to redo a product that you want to have, and then you want real-time stats. Listen, like a basketball game or a football game, right? You want real-time stats. You don't want to wait for that information to be able to crawl on something that's old. And if you want to say, hey, give me the stats of Josh Allen passing on third downs in the snow to blah, 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 you could probably get that with this version, whereas you wouldn't be able to get it with the other version.
Or so I don't have to wake up Nedry and be like, yo, dude, I hired you, make money for me to do all this reasoning for me.
Yeah, that's right. You could do like that.
You get rid of lazy employees.
You could do that. Or it could even maybe become a psychologist, right?
Sure, why not?
All right, story number 4. This is really fantastic news. I know that we need this in the White House. President-elect Donald Trump is going to have an AI and crypto czar in the White House coming in his term. Now, he's essentially chosen the all-in podcast host, David Sachs, to be this person. Now, the appointment of Sachs,
is this person?
Well, he hosted a $300,000 a person dinner at his mansion to fundraise for Trump's campaign this past July. So
does he know anything about crypto
or
AI? Or?
Well, you know what? He has a talk show that he talks about technology in cryptocurrency, and I would say he's knowledgeable. I wouldn't say I don't know if this is like the most intelligent individual that we have, but he's got a lot of bravado, and he's got a lot of
smart enough. He was smart enough to
convince people to pay
a lot of money.
Well, $300,000 a person event, right? Yeah. So now he's going to be working with, of course, PayPal Mafia member Elon Musk. So I'm sure this White House is going to be an interesting White House with technology. Now, the first time Trump was in, we talked about this on our show. He was horrible for technology and cryptocurrency and cyber attacks. There was no unification. And we have said that under the administration of Biden that they actually hired people that did a very good job. So hopefully he will continue to take what was available there and make it successful.
This sounds like a position for my nephew.
So what's interesting is you can serve for 130 days a year without publicly disclosing your assets. Did you know that? This is like a special position.
I don't pay attention to these things.
So
So
he's going to be there for 129 days to help out.
Then he's going to get fired.
So then, well, I don't know how they served that time, but then he doesn't have to disclose any of the information that he has. Well, there you go. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have Gwen Way up in our gadgets and gears segment with a product that will keep the retro fan in your house entertained. What is it, Gwen? We'll get to share this information in our next segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is in the studio. Mark, what have we chosen today?
Deliciousness.
This is actually fantastic. I have not had something that this is This is
Seriously?
really.
You said that about last week's.
No, last week's was fantastic because it was cheap and decent, right? But this is. I don't think this is going to be cheap either. This is good though. What do we got? What do we got?
Today is Elmer T. Lee Single Barrel Bourbon.
Oh,
Now, from Buffalo Trace's website, this is named after the master distiller Elmer T. Lee.
oh, Elmer, like Elmer D. Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
No.
Okay.
This whiskey is hand-selected and is bottled to the tastes and standards that were set forth by Elmer T. Lee himself. Perfectly balanced and rich, as declared by the man who knew how great bourbon should taste, the nose brings notes of clove, vanilla, and old leather.
Old leather.
Yep.
How do you have a taste of old leather?
Oh, that's so delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever have like old leather that you'd lick or something? I don't know what old leather tastes like.
It's more the smell of old leather that translates
People
into the
don't
palate.
usually go around chewing on leather, but
Okay,
you know,
I'm just curious. Okay, old leather. Okay, all right. Okay.
I
So
don't.
the flavor balances fruit, honey, and
they're hunting
vanilla with a
rabbits.
light spiciness, a long and warm finish. Now, this is from the Sazerac Company, which is from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky.
Do they have like 80% of the market? The Sazerac company, because when we talk about them all the time.
They have a good portion.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
This is a straight bourbon. It's non-age stated. It is 90 proof. The mash bill is undisclosed, but we do know this is Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 2, which is their high rye bourbon mash bill. Price is $40, but on the secondary, it can go as high as $250.
Well, why was my pour so small today? What's going on with that?
Well, maybe your pour happened.
Did you pour it?
No, maybe I poured and maybe I took a little bit out of your drink before I switched it over to mine.
You drank some of my pour.
Well, yeah, you know what? I drank it at 2 minutes before the show.
Well, it's a hard to find bottle, and this was donated to us for the tasting today by our friend Chris.
Oh, okay, Chris. Well, nice shout out to Chris. How he's a big whiskey connoisseur, just like Mark is. You guys need to do like a whiskey show.
A snob.
Yeah, they're connoisseurs. That's the nice way of doing it. They meet. Do you guys meet like once a week to have sippings?
We don't meet that often. That would be nice if we did.
Okay, all right, there you go. Well, okay, all right. Well, I am really liking this right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit suspicious that you keep bringing in these high rye things that I'm starting to really like.
So he's changing your palate.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
Is that something you're doing on purpose? Are you trying to do that on purpose?
Well, no.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment today. We have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evening, as well as a producer of TechTime Radio and our Gadgets and Gear Gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream to start our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right. Welcome back to the show, Gwen. It's been great to hear. I'm sure Mike's excited about this object that you're going to be bringing in, aren't you, Mike?
Sure. Why not?
All right. So let's take a look at what we got here, Gwen.
Always happy to be here, Nathan. I am, as Nathan said, a cybersecurity expert. I've been working in IT for about 25 years now, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
All right, Gwen. Well, let's get to our gadget today. What do you have in store for us in this holiday season?
Well, you know, we're closing in on Christmas. It's gift time of year. So I wanted to find something that people could put under their trees to have fun with. Okay. So today I tracked down something called the Bolt's Retro Stick.
Okay, so it's the Bolt Retro Stick. Now, I'm really into retro gaming. I have tons with the Raspberry Pi that I've created, different versions with RetroPie and different ROMs. Make sure you only use ROMs that you have purchased the games for. Otherwise, that's illegal. But tell us a little bit more about this.
Well, this device is for the non-technical who don't want to actually set up a computer. The Bolt's Retro Stick is just a small rectangular device that you plug directly into your television set, and you're able to play up to 20,000 different types of games on it.
That sounds good.
You can have up to 4 people playing concurrently, so
That's kind of different because most of the units I have only have 2-player controllers.
Exactly. So it's a great family Christmas morning kind of thing. The other good thing about it is, well, with the consoles, you have to wait to download updates and all of that kind of stuff, which, because everybody gets consoles for Christmas, takes a long time on Christmas Day. This is just ready to go. You literally just plug it into your TV and play.
You know, nothing's better than a plug-and-play device, because that is true. With all these new consoles that are out there, if you get a new game, by the time, even if you got it on a physical format, by the time you put it into your console, it'll take an hour to 2 hours to download all the updated maps, all the new upgrades, because everybody releases stuff late. I remember having to do that last Christmas with just like Madden, trying to play games during the holiday break, and it was just so long. So this, I can put it in there, probably go play some 10-yard fight or one of the traditional football games that were a part of the old retro type deal, and be ready to go.
Definitely. So, like I said, this is 20,000 games available on one device. It is only $49.99, so under $50.
That's better than cheaper than any brand new game you can get nowadays. All of them cost way much more than that. It's starting at like that $60 price point.
Exactly. You can also double the number of games and the storage with an extra $25 right now. So that's even better.
Okay, Gwen. So Mike's looking at me over here. And we're like, are these the name games or are these like the generic games? So some of the times I've gotten some of these retro sticks, and they've come with name games like Mario Brothers and Dig Dug and Tetris, and the names that you'd actually recognize that are a part of the retro arcade. And then sometimes I've got here Mamacon, and I've gotten Pipe Brothers, the stuff that was not really even what was supposed to be taken care of. I got Mario running around in a purple outfit instead of a red outfit. Luigi's outfit's yellow instead of green. I mean, they just change everything about these games. So are these the name brands or those generic ones?
Running around in purple instead of red. This actually has named games. It also has a couple of the less popular games. When you get up to 20,000, you're going to have some that are not bangers.
Yep.
But yeah, it's got some of your name game. It's got Street Fighter on there, so you can hop on and play Street Fighter.
Oh, I love Street Fighter. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. All those blood fighting games there. I guess if you have 2 controllers, you'd be set with that. I guess you get 4 controllers, and then you can probably play old retro 4-player games too.
Yeah, exactly. Get all of the aggression out before Christmas.
Okay, now you're talking with just the 4 controllers. I have to rethink about this, because I remember playing in the arcades many quarters, the old Gauntlet series, where you had, of course, Elf and Valkyrie and Warrior and Wizard, and all the retro games that I always have. You either have to choose which character you're going to be. So, of course, everybody chooses Valkyrie, and then the other person normally is the Elf. Every once in a while, you get a Wizard, but no one ever picked the Warrior. So I guess you could have all 4 of your friends and relatives without having to put the quarters in each of these games. Man, I've spent like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on Gauntlet, and then you'd start shooting each other, and potions would run.
Okay. Exactly. And you could have all 4 sides on combat too. Remember that old Atari game?
Okay, now are you just calling me old here? Going back to Atari games. Come on now. I do remember the 2600, and I do remember the original Nintendo that you had to blow in the cartridge for, but you be careful on Combat and Air Sea Battle, because those were games that I could probably still compete with some of these youngins with today. All right, though, Gwen, let's get to the most important question. Is this going to be something that you get for the holidays? You know, with holiday gift giving and Santa Claus around the corner, is this going to be in your stocking or giving to somebody else's stocking?
I am actually going to get one of these. It's going to be for our upstairs TV, just where we kind of hang out and play games. It's cheaper than, going out and buying the latest Xbox or a PS5 or anything like that, and gives us just as much enjoyment. So, listener, if you, like I, would like to have that ease, you can go to Boltz Retro Sticks. That's BOLTZ Retro Sticks, STICKS. CKS.com.
And Santa has something in this holiday stocking for you, I'm sure.
Yep, we've got one on the way already.
All right. Okay. All right. Well,
Gwen, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate that. Now, this is the last time we're going to see you this year, so it's going to be a whole year until I get to see you again. With that, though, I'm kind of curious, and maybe our listeners are also, of maybe some of the ideas that you're going to be having to start off the new year.
Well, I can tell you we're going to start out going back to Kickstarter and looking at new and potential things. But I think I'd like to wrap a few more of the ready-made, ready-to-order stuff in as well, so that our listeners will be able to actually pick things.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Well, Gwen, we're going to have to be careful with that Kickstarter stuff, though, because I still have about 8 of the items that I purchased over the last 3 or 4 years still waiting to come on in. That's the thing about Kickstarter is that, whatever their date is, it's probably a year after that they ship.
Almost guaranteed, yeah.
But I do have my Luna robot and a bunch of other great things, so it's not that it's a bad deal to do. But I do like how you find information and new projects and new gadgets for us to fund, and so that'll be exciting as we kick off the new year. All right, Gwen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to talk with you about new gadgets. We now have to wait until next year, all the way till next year, to see what she has in store for us again.
That joke never gets old.
See you next year.
Thank you. And thank you, Mike and Mark. Bye.
Thank you so much, Gwen. Well, that ends our Gadgets and Gear segment. Up next, we have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. Mike, are you ready for this? Let's start your moment now. Welcome to Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. What does Mike have to say today? All right. Mike, why do people hate the holidays?
Why do people hate the holidays?
Yeah, I'm just going to go right here, right?
That's you're going to just chuck that in. Why do people hate the holidays?
What is up with the holidays?
I can tell you that one of the big reasons why people may hate the holidays is the incredible amount of social and economic pressure that goes on during the holidays. So in the holiday season, we have all these sales coming at us all the time and trying to get us to buy. But we also have this huge, which economically driven, this huge social pressure to do things.
Yep.
And it starts off with Halloween. We have the push to give candy out.
Okay.
Right. And then comes Thanksgiving, and then we're pressured to hang out with people that traditionally we may not want to hang out with normally. That's our families. Our families are our families, but there's a reason why we only get together once a year.
That is true.
And there's a lot of pressure around doing that. And then comes Christmas, and the big part of Christmas is spend money to give, and to do all these socially acceptable things that you don't hear about any time of the year, like, help the homeless and go to soup kitchens and whatnot. And then we top it off with a party where we get drunk and say goodbye to the old year. So there's this sort of pattern of social pressures that start after the 4th of July that continually.
See, that's my holiday, 4th of July.
Yeah.
And you don't have to invite family, invite friends. You blow up stuff, you barbecue stuff. I mean, that is the holiday of holidays.
Yeah, not the point. That's why.
That's why you said started after that.
That's right, because it starts after that. But
do you like the holidays?
I like holidays, but I don't like all the junk that goes with the holidays.
Okay.
I really get upset about.
I
don't really get upset, but I don't like all the little things. Do
you like the Steam sale that happens during the holidays, though?
Yeah, I like those things.
Okay,
I like the sales.
Okay,
especially for tech.
All right, there's some good stuff there.
Yeah, but I don't like all the social pressure.
All right, that makes sense. All right, well, Mike, thank you for that mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as I am sure we will be doing so during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio. Yeah. You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right. We go back to December 9th, 1987. We're all about worms today, I guess. The Christmas tree worm begins to affect an IBM mainframe. Now, the Christmas tree worm begins to affect the IBM mainframe computers all across the world. The worm was delivered by email and drew a Christmas tree text graphic on the user's monitors. And it searched out through the network users to email them this opportunity also. Named Christmas, CHRASTMA.exec, because IBM systems only supported 8-character file names, allowed for the world's first widely distributed computer worm. Well, the worm was not intentionally destructive. A volume of emails it created could disrupt a user's network and began to overload email systems. It reached IBM's VNet email network on December 15th, and 2 days later had crippled it to the point that they had to shut it down and eradicate the worm.
Yeah, now we just have to get all these scientists together to get rid of tech worms.
To tech worms, there you go. Or if you're listening to music, you can get rid of it with your earworm. Right?
Okay.
All right, there you
whatever,
go.
Dude.
That was This Week in Technology.
Let's just play the computer, the music, and then it'll get rid of the Christmas worm. There
Okay.
we go.
Have you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 230 plus weekly broadcasts spanning 5+ years of video, podcast, and blog information? You can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after this break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
I just had my little whiskey there during the break, so that was really good. This is actually fantastic. So tell me about the Mumble. What do we got coming up here on the date today?
Well, today is December 10th.
It is.
What day is it today?
Odie, hit it.
Chemistry, physics to a Nobel machine. Oh yeah.
National STEM Day.
I have no idea. I am completely lost.
It's Nobel Prize Day.
Oh, it's Nobel Prize. Oh, I didn't know there was a Nobel Prize Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the day that they announced the Nobel
Pickle Day? So why wouldn't there be a Nobel Prize Day?
Well, or green bean casserole day?
Well, let me tell
December
you why
3rd,
today
that is like the
exists.
most important day now. I have that on a recurring scheduled calendar on my events.
But let's talk about Nobel Prize Day.
Okay, December 10th. Yes.
This day honors the achievements of Alfred Bernard Nobel.
Okay.
A Swedish engineer, chemist, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. We have all heard of the Nobel Prize that recognizes outstanding achievements in various fields in arts and sciences. Nobel Prize Day is a tribute to the person who instituted the prize.
Okay.
Now, Mike is going to love how today is related to our whiskey.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay.
One famous Nobel Prize winner in 1986 for chemistry was Jan T. Lee, who is not related to Elmer T. Lee. And our whiskey for today was originally released in 1986.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, 1986 was a year after Elmer retired. Elmer T. Lee, besides being one of the most famous distillers, brought the world's Blanton single barrel.
Now, hang on a second. I'm going to interrupt you. You said this was the 1986 Nobel Prize winner?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not L.I. Weasel?
Well, there's a number of winners of the Nobel Prize.
Is there really?
Did you not know that?
And this was specific for chemistry.
Oh, never mind.
That's why she played the soundtrack about chemistry.
Oh boy. Okay.
Elmer Fudd.
All right. Continuing on, Mark.
All right. So Blanton Single Barrel was a pioneering effort in the bourbon industry, as Blanton's was the world's first single barrel bourbon. That is why Buffalo Trace honored him with another single barrel product named after him. Now comes
they did a good job here.
The controversy.
Yeah. No. What is there controversy?
Well, Elmer T. Lee Single Barrel is highly sought after and coveted bottle by almost all whiskey enthusiasts.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
It is the darling of the whiskey community.
Sorry, Chris.
And I personally do not enjoy it at all.
What?
That is why my glass hasn't even been poured anything.
Are you
into it.
serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You do not like this?
I do not like it at all.
What?
I find it lacks complexity. It's astringent. There's a funky flavor like stinky socks. I'm a huge outlier on this one. However, this is a hard pass for me. So this originally was my bottle,
shoe leather.
and I gave it to Chris.
Oh, really?
Well, he also paid me for it.
Okay, well, he gave it to him.
Gave you money for it?
They gave you money for it.
Yeah,
not
you got the whole
cryptocurrency
black
for it.
market thing.
Yeah, I told him not to, and he listens to this podcast, so he was bad.
Okay,
and he Venmo'd me.
Let me just tell you, I Chris, this is fantastic. I appreciate the Christmas Day gift, and Mike and I will be splitting this up, and we'll send you back the bottle.
No kidding.
The empty bottle.
The empty bottle. That's right.
That's right. That's a collector's item. All right, whiskey and technology are great pairings, just like a musical and a good old black and white movie for the holidays, right?
Okay.
Don't you like musicals? I mean, every holiday music
doesn't
is
have anything. It doesn't
musicals
have anything.
come in the holiday time, and black and white movies come for the holidays.
Okay.
Don't you watch musicals?
No, the way you try to pair things up.
Now, have you watched the movie Spirited? Spirited on Apple.
No, but I have a pairing for you.
What's that?
The holidays.
Shut the F up. No.
The holidays goes like the Grinch and his dog Max. Better together.
Oh, better. Oh, look
and
at
no
you.
AI for that.
No AI for that one.
There you
No
go.
AI would have probably had so much different stuff. Okay, all right. You know what?
Let's move on. Since that was such a failure, let's move on to the next segment.
All right, let's move on to our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Well, this week's failures come to us from a vodka maker called Stoli. Now, I actually have 7 bottles of vodka from this distillery. So my question is, my pending question is the value going to go up or is it going to go down? Here's what we got. Stoli's Group USA company has filed for bankruptcy following an August ransomware attack, and Russian authorities seizing the company's remaining distilleries in the country. As Chris Caldwell, the president of Global Chief Executive Officer of Stoli USA, and Kentucky Owl, the 2 Stoli Group's subsidiaries, said that it filed on Friday bankruptcy because of the August attack that disrupted its IT systems, including its enterprise resource planning ERP platform. The cyber attack forced manual operations across the group, affecting key processes such as accounting, with full recovery not expected until 2025. Now, I just don't get that. I'm struggling with that. Are you going to say that you didn't have any of this in the cloud? So you're saying that all of your information was stored locally. You had no backups of this, and you can't start until 2025. Man, those IT people at that company should be taken out and hit with a bottle of Russian vodka. All right, in August of 2024, the Stoli's Group's IT infrastructure suffered again this disruption in the wake of a data breach. The attack caused so many infrastructure operational errors that the Stoli Group, including Stoli USA systems, have been disabled, and most of the Stoli's Group's internal processes have all been completely into manual entry mode. Now, Interesting is that Caldwell said that the incident also prevented the Stoli U.S. subsidiaries from providing financial reports to lenders who claimed the two companies had defaulted on a $78 million debt and that they had to close operations. So now here's a very interesting tidbit at the end of this story, right? So they have a cyber attack, shuts down all their systems. And then all of a sudden we find out that the company had defaulted on a $78 million debt. So do you think the cyber attack had anything to do with the pre-existing debt to cause their systems to shut down? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I don't know. I don't drink Stoli.
You don't drink Stoli?
No,
okay. All right. But so Mark, I'm going to put this on some research for you. How is this going to affect Kentucky Owl?
That is a big bourbon brand.
That is a big bourbon brand.
Now,
So
it's not as popular now as before since Dixon sold it years ago to Stoli.
Okay.
He was the mastermind behind it.
Okay.
So we had Kentucky Owl on the show?
We have not had Kentucky Owl.
So should we go run it out and get some Kentucky Owl before it disappears?
Well, number one, the Kentucky Owl that was made by Dixon, you can't afford.
Okay. All right.
And the ones after are like Stoli vodka. They're not worth.
They're not worth anything.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, then, there you go.
So we really don't care. That's what I.
Well, no. What's interesting is supposedly you need to make sure that you have your data backed up. This is a good data backup process. You shouldn't have your ERP system, and you shouldn't have your main financial systems not in the cloud in today's world. If you do have those still local on a local system and you're not running on a cloud system, note to your business, get it into the cloud before the end of the year, because that, if you have it destroyed there in the cloud, they have redundant backups that come with all the cloud services. So get it there. I mean, it's, if you're the IT person here and they reported to me, I would have fired them years ago, because there's no way that I would have said that was a good business structure to have it all local. And then now the money that they had to report on.
Don't you find it interesting that a Russian company was hacked by hackers,
and then it all shuts down?
Such avid hackers.
Yeah, I find that. What I really find interesting is a $78 million debt. Have you ever known that when a restaurant's in debt, all of a sudden they like amazingly have like a fire that happens in their kitchen or something like that, and they get their insurance claim? I'm not saying this is fraud, but for the cyber attack.
Exactly what fraud is.
That's not right. All right, we're gonna head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we still have a possible Nathan Nugget of the week, and of course our pick of the day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you after this break.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon the Bookpository, and more.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, here's our Nugget of the Week. Xbox wants to continue being your console even after the life of the console, and it's pairing with a company called iFixit to help everyone out. This is a great story for me. All right, iFixit now sells genuine Xbox parts that you can use to repair your Xbox Series X and S, and offers official guides to help you with the fixes. You can browse what's available from iFixit's Microsoft Repair Hub. Microsoft sent out a press announcement saying that Microsoft is excited to be working and keeping these Xbox running longer and out of the waste heap, Elizabeth Chamberlain said. iFix Director of Sustainability also says the statement is that we now offer official Microsoft parts, and a step-by-step repair guides for the Xbox Series S and X includes both the all-digital and disk drive editions. Now, iFixit has continued to grow to be a repair hub site, more than just the parts it originally started to sell, and is now has Microsoft Surface devices and other hardware devices, including generators and other mechanical devices that could be repaired. Since they've launched their Surface parts collaboration with Microsoft last year, they've been helping customers repair their own Microsoft laptops and tablets. It's awesome to be able to offer Xbox owners the same opportunity. Microsoft isn't the only gaming company that iFix has partnered with. iFix sells nearly every part to the Steam Deck and offers a bunch of repair guides for Valve's handheld PC too. Microsoft itself offers first-party parts for the standard Elite Series 2 Xbox controllers. Now, iFixit offers genuine repair parts for Google Pixel phones and Pixel tablets. The company has sold genuine parts for Samsung, But that partnership ended earlier this year. Now, if you want to find out more information, you can click on the link on techtimeradio.com under Nugget, and it will actually take you to the iFix repair site so you can find out all of your Xbox information.
What if I want to do an older Xbox?
Well, they have stuff there for the original Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And Xbox 360.
You
so
didn't
it's
talk about that.
Well, they just announced that they have the new stuff. So the new stuff's more important, of course, for a press release than the old stuff. But if you want to go back and take your original Xbox and mod it and do whatever needs to be done, they have the guides to help you there. Not to mod it, but to
PSA,
repair it.
it doesn't work on Xboxes that went through a fire.
It does not. Your Xbox that went through a fireworks though, doesn't it?
No, all my.
No, you brought it to my house and I cleaned it out.
That was the original Xbox.
Oh, you're talking about the new ones, the X's, the X's.
Yeah, all the other stuff
doesn't work.
Didn't make it.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds great. Well, you know what, Mike? I think we're almost out of time. Now, we want to thank our listeners for joining the program. And before that, we want to go to our whiskey tastings.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, today we are drinking from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, the Elmer T. Lee Single Barrel Bourbon.
Okay.
It is 90 proof, and it is $40 if you can actually find it anywhere on the shelf. Usually you have to pay more for it. It's usually around, secondary prices are about, well, the secondary market is about $120, but if you find it at a liquor store marked up, that can go up to about $250.
Wow. This is pretty good. I really like this. What are you going to give this? A thumbs up or a thumbs down, Mike?
I don't think I have to say anything because I've been talking about it the whole show.
All right.
So this is a thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up for me too. Also, this is fantastic, and thank you, Chris, for allowing us to have this great whiskey to taste. Mark, and you bought this, but then you ended up trading it away.
It's because it tastes like old socks.
I had an opportunity to buy this at the $40 price point, so
Okay.
I knew other people love it. So
Now, did you sell it at the $40 price point?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's such a nice guy. You're so nice.
Does the price point of the liquor affect the taste, do you think?
Price point.
That's a good point.
Oh, do you think that if we think we're drinking something more expensive, that we think it's better tasting?
Yeah, psychologically, that does affect how we perceive things.
It could.
So I have heard from many whiskey enthusiasts that when they buy an expensive bottle, in their mind they're already going to love it because they have to justify the cost.
See, that's it. That's it right there. They're trying.
So if you're a cheapskate and you like the real cheap whiskey, then you like that too.
You don't have to do a lot of justifying about why you.
That's why blinds are fun.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right, Mike. Well, we're about out of time. We want to thank our listeners for joining the program. Listeners, we want to hear from you. You can visit us at techtimeradio.com. Click on Be a Caller and ask us a quick question on technology and our TalkBack recording system. You can also stay connected by signing up for information on our website today. For all of us at Tech Time, it was an honor to be on the show today. Mark, thank you for bringing this great whiskey. Now, just to let you know, right at the end of the show, before we do the lead out, we do have a re-look back at some of our best Christmas songs. Mike?
No.
Yes. You just said
You're supposed
that.
to say, I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
All right. That's great. Well, thank you for letting me know about Nobel Prize information there, because I did not know about that. I'm sure I'm going to have some people comment off the air on that for me, but that should be fantastic. It is great.
That's not new for you, right?
Well, I don't know. Okay. You know, the most important part, though, is remembering the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
No, it's like blowing my eardrums out. Yeah, if you want. I think you need to give yourself a couple more beats before you start singing, because you just like...
On the first day of Christmas, my AI gave to me Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
On the second day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 2 biased bots and Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
But Sam is definitely back at OpenAI. On the third day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 3 deep fakes, 2 biased bots, and Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
On the 4th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, and 2 bias bots, and Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
That was awful.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 5 Elon tweets or X's, 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, 2 bias bots, and Sammy Altman back at OpenAI.
Well, Mark is really singing well.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 6 hackers hacking 5 Elon tweets, 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, 2 bias bots, and Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 7 drones spying, 6 hackers hacking, and a couple of tech hosts scoreboard. 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, 2 bias bots, and Sam Altman back at OpenAI. On the 8th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me music, 8 ads of tracking, 7 drones spying, 6 hackers hacking, 5 Elon tweets, 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, 2 bias bots, and Nathan's Bro Crush back at OpenAI. I think it's me, yeah. On the 9th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 9 laws are breaking, 8 ads of tracking, 7 drones are spying, 6 hackers hacking, 5 Elon tweets, 4 data breaches, 3 deep fakes, 2 bias bots, and Sam Altman back at OpenAI.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my AI gave to me 12 AIs rising like T2, 11 ethics are missing, 10 jobs are losing, 9 laws are breaking, 8 ads are tracking, 7 drones are spying, 6 hackers hacking, 5 Elon tweets or X's or whatever he calls them,
Cares
and
what
then
Elon
4
does.
data breaches.
4 data breaches,
3 deep fakes, one with Mike, 2
bias
bias bots, and my buddy
Sam
Altman back
in
at
his
OpenAI
place.
after Microsoft and then rehired again and back.
That was awful.
The music was way too loud. I couldn't hear a damn thing that you said.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.